Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and its community here on COD Zombies HQ. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today, where we've got a lot to talk about, from Treyarch releasing a new update to Black Ops 6 Zombies, implementing some secret changes into the Zombies mode that players are finding out about for the first time, some crazy clips and discoveries within Black Ops 6 Zombies you absolutely need to see, and of course ending things with the latest edition of Zombies versus Vehicles. There is a lot today, so let's kick things right off with our first story of the day. Treyarch released one of their biggest updates to Black Ops 6 yet, with a huge amount of changes made to this game, but most of the changes Treyarch covered were made to their multiplayer mode. While over here in Zombies, the latest update did have some serious changes that they just didn't tell us about. But let's start with the ones that they did in fact tell us about. The first one is a relatively minor one. It has to do with Gobblegums, where Treyarch says that Gobblegum names will now properly update when switching between tier tabs. Clearly there was some problems with the names of the Gobblegums themselves updating when switching between the tabs, but Treyarch has indeed fixed that. The next one is quite significantly more major. Part of me, I gotta admit, is a little sad to see it, where Treyarch says that they've closed an exploit that allowed moving the tactical raft while the player is inside it. Pretty sure this is referring to the absolutely insane rocket ship method players were using within their tactical boats, looking up and mashing the knife button in the air to fire off all of the players inside of the raft up into the sky and well beyond the height barrier of the map. This was a lot of fun to see and do in game, I will say. In a patch a few days ago, Treyarch made it so that these tactical rafts will despawn now, because as I'm sure many of you know, players were using them as barricades to block off zombies. Now, low-key, there is still a method to have this work in your game that players are using. But yeah, it definitely seems that Treyarch is cracking down on some of the boat exploits we've seen in this game, honestly really putting the hurt on the future of Zombies versus Vehicles. But next up, let's get into some of the changes that Treyarch made to the Zombies mode that they didn't tell us about in their update. There are two major ones that players have found out so far. The first one is on the map Terminus, where a few days ago, players figured out that if you use the ASG shotty while it's pack-a-punch, firing at the basketball and completing the basketball Easter egg, it would multiply the final reward by the amount of pellets within the shotty. This method results in players receiving up to 64,000 points absolutely for free. It was honestly one of the most powerful Easter egg glitches we've ever seen in the Zombies mode, but with this recent update, Treyarch updated the code for this Easter egg, making it so that multiple pellets can't trigger the reward over and over again, essentially getting rid of the 64k free point Easter egg forever. But that leaves one more hidden change that players have found, and it's over on the map Liberty Falls, where this change specifically affects an Easter egg step on this map. Treyarch has added a significant delay to the water valve step after you fail. The reason Treyarch made this change, as I'm sure many of you will know if you played any kind of public lobby for Liberty Falls recently, is that this was used to enable a God mode glitch on the map. Players would be totally invincible while a player was abusing this water valve step. This delay they added effectively breaks the method that players were using to get into the God mode glitch, effectively patching it out of the game. But this is, of course, the Zombies community we're talking about here, so as several major glitches and exploits get patched and changed, I'm sure many will arise to take their place. But moving on to the next story of the day, I didn't even think this was possible in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and it's kind of insane that it is. Reddit user BurfyWub was playing on Liberty Falls when he decided to take a break from the zombies, hop into the vault on the map, and open some of those safety deposit boxes, hoping for some good loot. Except when he did it in his game, he had an unexpected guest follow him, where the Abomination continued to target him, charged the vault door, and eventually clipped through it, leaving him one-on-one with the Abomination. Inside the ring with the countdown timer glitched, meaning he couldn't even leave if he wanted to. An absolutely terrifying encounter, meaning if you have an Abomination spawn in your game, it is charging the vault and targeting you, be very careful if you decide to enter the vault alone, because you might never leave. Okay, next up, another interesting discovery was made about the Black Ops 6 Zombies ending cutscene. Specifically, in this case, the game ending cutscenes, when you go down not by exfilling, but just having zombies take you out the old-fashioned way. During the little cutscene that plays after going down for the final time, Is Pepsi Okay over on Reddit found out that it is entirely rendered in-game, meaning that anything spawned in around you stays in the cutscene when you enter it. So in this case, he had a Nuke power-up spawn in front of him. The zombie dragged his player model forward during the cutscene, picking up the Nuke power-up, instantly taking down all of the zombies within the cutscene itself before the game officially ends. Kind of an interesting little quirk of the cutscene system here in BO6, and I have a feeling we're going to see some similar wackiness with the ending cutscenes, as players can figure out some of the insane ways they can modify them. Next up, after yesterday's video, where we covered a bunch of leaked information about future Zombies DLC here in Black Ops 6, from the wonder weapons that will be featured on those maps to the actual maps themselves, we talked about the amount of reused assets that Treyarch might use when they're making their DLC Zombies maps within this game. I would encourage you to check out yesterday's edition of the show if you're interested, but this notorious leaker HeyImAlaix had this to say about the future of DLC maps in this game, and to be 100% honest with you, it helped put me at ease, where he said that Treyarch are going to blow our minds with each new Zombies map. Every time we think it can't get any crazier, it will, until the grand finale. I can't wait. This guy, somehow, someway, has leaked a bunch of insider information about Call of Duty for the last several years. I will say, if there is a leaker I trust to give accurate information and kind of opinions on future content, it's HeyImAlaix, and if he thinks the future of Black Ops 3 Zombies DLC maps are in a very good place, I'm inclined to believe him. But okay, let's wrap things up with the latest edition of Zombies vs. Vehicles. But in a bit of a twist on the traditional tactical boat meta we've seen for the Zombies vs. Vehicles segments lately, let's instead feature our good buddy Raptor 1, the exfil chopper, where players are finding out that it's possible to have the exfil ending cutscene with Raptor 1 suddenly disappearing, going Gonzo Alonzo, poofing out of existence entirely, leaving the player model stuck on the ground to fend for themselves as the horde of zombies attacks them and actually turns your screen red just like you're taking damage. Honestly, I thought we could really rely on Raptor 1 to pick us up when the coast is clear. Clearly in this case he had something better to do and left us to fend for ourselves. Well, that wraps up the show today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, consider hitting that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There is so much new stuff being found in Black Ops 6 Zombies every day. I absolutely love doing the episodes for you on this game, and I can't wait to cover some more when the next edition of the Zombies News Update returns tomorrow. Peace!